So most of you who see me on these videos probably also see my blog posts. Whether you read them or not, you probably get them sent to you. If you don't and you're interested, go to slamdunksuccess.com and sign up for my newsletter. And that's when I send out my blog posts every Friday. And over the last few weeks, and then for the next few weeks as well, I'm doing a series called Professionalism in Coaching. And the first week I talked about the concept. It started with the idea from a book many years ago when my father owned a bookstore when I was a kid. And one of the best sellers was a book called Dress for Success. And I just had some ideas on, when I look at coaches, watch coaches coach, whether they're at games, practices, etc., about how do we present ourselves. And so I decided to write something about it. I turned that into a series on, how you present yourself is part of being professional. But I realized it's not only about how you dress, and that's what the first post was about. It's like, make sure you dress appropriately, and you look the part, so to speak, and you're not a slob. But quite honestly, how you dress is down the list in terms of what's important in terms of being a professional. Well, the second post was called "What is Professional?" What is a professional? And the idea was to talk about that. I want to make sure people understand the majority of people who watch my videos, listen to my podcast, and who read those posts, are probably middle school, high school, youth-aged coaches. Not too many professional coaches, and I'll put professional in quote marks there, because what I'm saying is when we think of the word professional, especially when it comes to sports, we immediately go to that level, the NFL, the NBA, MLS, whatever sport you're in, we go to the absolute upper level, the level where people are being paid to play it. Although some of you right now are saying, I think they're being paid to play at some of the other levels too, but I digress. But just because someone coaches at that level doesn't make them a professional. Just because you don't coach at that level doesn't mean you're not a professional. I've been a high school and middle school aged coach for over 35 years. I am a professional. I have been paid to coach sports. That makes me a professional. So just in terms of the semantics of the word, those of us who coach and get paid for it, we are professionals. But more importantly, what does the word mean? And what does it mean to you? Because the concept of being a professional is so much more than whether you get paid to play or coach or whatever we're talking about. It's about how you handle yourself. It's about the image, I'm going to use that word, that you present, but it's not only about image. It's your demeanor, it's your makeup, it's your character, which is the biggest part to me of being professional. But it's how you conduct your business, and do you handle yourself in a professional manner? And so whether you're coaching 8-year-olds or 18-year-olds, how you handle yourself, how you deal with people, how you present the entire package of who you are. I was going to say as a coach, but just as who you are determines your professionalism. And the reason why I didn't add the as a coach is because how I am downtown in my town here, how I am in the grocery store, how I am at the post office, that all contributes to my professionalism or my lack thereof. And so if I am not behaving in a manner that is conducive to, commensurate with, in line with, whatever word you want to use, if I'm not behaving in a manner that is befitting of the title of coach and the concept of being someone who is a professional, then I'm not professional. And it doesn't matter how much money I get paid and what level, people I coach at. If I do not handle myself the right way, I'm not a professional. And so consider this concept as to whether or not you are handling yourself as a professional coach. I hope, I imagine all of you are. Most of the people who read my stuff, watch my videos, listen to the Great Quotes for Coaches podcast, you're doing this because you are trying to improve. You're wanting to learn more things and find out more about how to be a better coach. You're already focused on that concept of being professional. We are human though. We do make our mistakes, and sometimes we don't even know, oh, I didn't realize that wasn't the right way to behave. I mentioned that in after professional. I talked about the next level was, let's see. Well, I talked about sportsmanship, then I talked about blowouts, and now I'm in a short section. There's going to be 2 or 3 on playing time, being a professional and handling playing time issues. But the sportsmanship and blowout section is where I was talking about how some coaches, they don't realize that the way they're handling blowout situations, for instance, is showing a lack of professionalism. And so I addressed that in that post. So understand, it's not that you aren't a professional, but it's not the way that you've been taught, the way you've seen others do it, and that's, we often coach the way we were coached, or the way we've seen other coaches coach until we see a better way. Maybe you never saw somebody act a certain way that made you go, oh, that's the right way, that's the professional way to handle that, as opposed to that way. And so I understand. But most of you, I'm sure, are handling yourselves in the right way. But it's a little bit of a reminder as to, let's make sure we're always keeping in mind that we are professionals, whether or not we are getting paid to coach or not, whether we're at the professional level or not, doesn't matter. This job, this role of coach demands of us that we be professional. And when we do that, that's when good things are not only on the horizon, but are happening, and we are handling ourselves the right way. A lot of air quotes today, but when you're talking about a term like professional and you have to delineate, this is what it means, this is what I think it might not mean, you kind of use the air quotes. So anyway, hope you like this concept, and check out the blog posts. I think you'll like those a lot if you haven't. Like I said, I'm in the middle of a series, and that'll be continuing for the next few weeks. We'll talk to you again next time.